Listening? Are you? No? Two things. Love that gives, because it's the expression of love to give. Where love is, it must express itself. The most powerful force, energy known to human beings is love. There is nothing more powerful than love. Love must express itself. A little boy plucks a flower along the way home and gives to his mother and says, "Mother, this is beautiful, but if you wear it in your hair, it'll be more beautiful." He's saying, "I love you." And the highest measurement, the vehicle that will measure his love, is the flower. A young man buys a box of chocolates, sees candy, and gives it to the girl of his love and says, "These are sweet, but they're sweeter than these." Some girls can sit and eat through one box of chocolate in one sitting and forget the guy who gave it. But that is the highest expression the young man can express himself through. A more able man, like the ones that I'm seeing sitting here, may build a bungalow and give the key to the lady and say, "Bigger things are in store if you stay with me." What if God loves? Have you ever asked that question? What if the character of God is love? How will he say, "This is how much I love you"? When you drive home, don't criticize the performance. Talk about his love. Because that's why we gather. I love you. I love you so much that the highest, the most adequate expression is by giving myself. This is how much I love you. For God so loved you that he gave his only begotten Son. What necessitates this ultimate expression? The nature of God is holiness. The nature of a man has been stained by deliberate sin. Put God's holiness and man's sin together, the result is the wrath of God. They don't work together. What could God do if he wants still to say to mankind, "I love you"? The only way he could say it is to give himself and say, "I will redeem you. I give myself to you." Nicodemus, you are wondering what's going on. God so loved you that he gave his only begotten Son, that if you will turn loose what you and you alone can turn loose, you will know the redemptive power of this love in your life. BBC had what they called brains trust many years ago, and they will take a subject and handle it and come to some conclusions before the time was gone on the air. One time they picked up the story about love, and they went into all sorts of literature. to find out the greatest love story of all. Someone suggested Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. And then someone else said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. There was a hush among the brains trust. Finally, everybody agreed. There's nothing to beat that. The redemptive reality of Christmas is he gives because love cannot sit and watch self-destruction. He had to be involved. It is love that gives. How do I make it my own? We have heard this. Pampa River. Do you know where Pampa River is? Do you? Tell your children. Don't let them think that Mississippi is the only river in the world. Tell them the story of what happened on the banks of Pampa River. That is a marvelous story. And it'll go on. And it'll go on. Faith that brings heaven's reality to me. I'm tired of just hearing this. I have proclaimed this on the sands of the Pampa River so many times. I have touched the reality. But how do I appropriate what God gives to me, to where I live, in Anaheim, in Arcadia, in Monrovia, in Pasadena, Los Angeles? How does it come? Whosoever believeth in him. The word belief jumps out of the writing. It is nothing that you can read because it jumps at you and says, take me. If you just read it and go to bed, you know nothing about belief. Saving faith is the personal reality. It is an actualization of the event of not just Bethlehem, but the whole event of Jesus of Nazareth. Of course, it includes Calvary and the empty grave. I have heard this story, and the print seemed to say that the story is true. Most of us, when we have a guest who comes to visit the United States, would like to pardon me, would like to take that guest to see the Niagara Falls, if we could. There is the story about a man called Blondin. Have you ever read this story by any chance? Blondin was a tightrope walker. He was a performer. And he boasted that there was never anyone like him before, and there can never be anyone after him who could equal his perfection. And in order to prove this to the world, it is said that on a set day, at a set time, he stretched a cable across the Niagara.